My dogs were barking. They were barking fiercely. I go to my door, and I thought something told me to look out the window. And then, oh my God.
Hey guys, it's Todd from Cryptid Creatures. Have you ever thought about making your own podcast? If so, you got to use Anchor. That's Anchor. The cool thing about Anchor is it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on multiple platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money on your podcast. The more people that listen, the more money you can make. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
This is the Cryptid Creatures podcast. This is Brian.
And I'm Todd. What's happening, Brian?
Not much, man. Just excited for this show.
Definitely excited for this show. We got some new, interesting stuff going on.
We do.
We have a great show coming up. We have a lizard man encounter.
Yes.
So we're going to bring Kelli on, and she's going to talk about that, what happened to her in Texas.
Yep, I'm excited about that.
All right, we're going to bring her on. Here we go. Kelli, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thanks, Todd. I'm doing good.
Thanks for coming on so much. We really appreciate this.
Not a problem.
I know that you don't necessarily like to talk too much about this still to this day, but it means a lot for you to come on and express and us try to figure out what's going on there. So really do appreciate that.
Right.
So before we get started, Kelli, do you mind telling us about your background, where you grew up, where you came from, a little bit?
I grew up in Oklahoma City, and I got married, and we had a little girl, and we decided to move to his home, which was Honey Grove, Texas. And I don't know if it's true or not, but it was rumored that Davy Crockett is the one that found it. He found the town, and evidently it was, a lot of beehives and a lot of honey. So supposedly that's how the name of the town came to be, Honey Grove.
Okay.
Nice.
So I never did any, background on that, but that's just what people have said.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a very small town. When I lived there, they had one blinking yellow light.
Oh, yellow.
That was it.
Only a yellow light.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
That was it on the main drag. And the main drag was only 2 roads. That was it. A very small town.
Gotcha. And where is that in Texas? That's kind of, I was looking on a map. It's not really eastern Texas so much, but it's kind of middle, toward the east a little bit. Is it not? Am I in the right area there?
I'm really not sure. I know it's between Bonham, Texas, and Paris, Texas.
Okay. So, leading up to like the week that this happened, I mean, what was going on? Was it summertime? What time of year was it when this you saw this?
It was spring. Me and my daughters were they were playing in the dirt, and I was trying to plant flowers and seeds, and they were beside me, each of them trying to do what they could with the dirt, which was get it all over themselves. But
yeah, it's what the kids do best.
Yes, it is. The very day that it happened, I can't imagine it was just a regular day for us, Got up and did what we did, played with the kids, and then gave them a bath and put them to bed. And then about 10 o'clock, I'd taken a bath and I was in bed because you have 2 kids that are toddlers, you get sleepy fast.
Absolutely. I believe you. With one, I would get sleepy fast.
Yeah.
So you put the kids to bed, and then you're getting ready, and then what happens?
I went ahead and I fell asleep pretty early, and I heard a loud a twig or twigs breaking right outside my window. I thought that the kid's pony had gotten loose.
Okay.
But my dogs were barking. They were barking fiercely. I had a Rottweiler, and I had never heard him bark like this. He was at that fence, chewing that fence, trying to get whatever it was.
Okay.
So still, I'm thinking it's the pony. So I get up out of bed, and I go to my door. And I thought something told me to look out the window because our door had 9 panes. It had 3, 3, 3. And then, oh my God. I look out the window and I see it should not have been, no, this should not have been. I saw right underneath the street lamp, which was no more than 25 feet from me, this gray lizard walking on 2 bipedal. And he got halfway out of the road, and his tail was still halfway in that road. He was taking strides faster than any person could do. When he looked under, when he walked under the light, he was gray.
Gray? He was gray in color?
Yes, gray in color. He had very thick, round, muscular legs. His arms reached between his thighs and his knees. I couldn't tell anything about his face. Now I'm going to give you a little information about the fences that were beside my house.
Okay.
Me and my husband, we used rail ties, and we bought the fencing ourselves. So we went out there with a chain stretcher, and we put that fence up around. There was no gate on it.
Okay.
My neighbor, she had a 6.5 security fence, a privacy fence, and her door, her gate was on the other side of her house. There was no way that this thing could have come out of the backyard unless there had been damage to one of the doors. This thing, he looked like he weighed, I don't know, 200, 250 pounds.
How tall was he? Kelly, how tall do you think he was?
About 7 foot.
Wow.
And you said he had you mentioned his tail was long. How long in feet do you think his tail was?
Well, marking it across the road, I would say that each part of those the in and out, probably
his tail was as wide as the road.
Was it what?
It was as wide as the road was. Is that long?
Well, when he was halfway on the other side, when he got to the other side, his tail just made it to halfway into the road.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I'm thinking he used it to balance himself. I don't know.
Was it a real thick tail, like an alligator tail?
Yeah, thicker than that. But yeah, it was like a alligator tail.
Wow. Okay. It's probably
more. And he was not. I mean, he changed my reality. in 1986, I had never heard the word cryptid. I did not hear the word cryptid until 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard, I don't even know how I heard about the word cryptid, but I've been out there looking for people. And there was one other person that I know, he had seen one for sure, but unfortunately he had passed 5 years before I started looking for him.
No, it's too bad.
Because I know he's out there. Where he came from, I have no idea. He didn't have any clothes on. I didn't even want to open my door, nor was I about to.
You had said something about the fences. You're saying he seemed to come from that direction, but you don't see how because of the fences, or?
Right. I knew he came between my house and hers, but there was no way, because there was no damage to either fence.
Could he have jumped over one of them?
No, my Rottweiler would have gotten a hold of him, or there would have been a lot more noise. All I can say, I don't know for sure, but I've always thought he came out of a portal.
Okay.
That was beside our houses. I can't say that for sure, but I do know neither fence was broken down, as if he had walked over it.
Mm-hmm.
If he had jumped over it.
There's no way he would have been on your roof and jumped off your roof. You would have heard that too, I'm sure.
No, I'd have heard that, yes. I would have heard that.
Was there any trees right there?
No. Now, there was on the other side of the road, there was a sawmill back there, and that's where he was heading, was back there towards that sawmill.
Is there any swamp or marshy area around that?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But I never did go back to the sawmill, so I'm not quite sure what they had in that area, if it was swampy or not.
How fast do you think, or how many seconds were you staring at him, and how fast did he move from A to B till you didn't see him anymore? You said he was pretty quick.
I'm saying no more than 4 seconds. I mean, he came into view, and then he was gone, and I was standing there looking, and I was in so much shock because, like I said, he should not be in my reality. I would rather have seen Bigfoot.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't, though. I'm glad you saw what you saw and you're talking about it for our sake. Yeah. But, yours, I'm sorry. I apologize that it's hard for you. But I don't know. I was thinking about this too, Kelly. We told you we would dig into this, and I've been looking. A lot of those sightings that the guy you were talking about, that was in South Carolina area, I believe, wasn't it?
It was.
And they have a festival. Don't they have a festival there still for that?
Yeah, they have a festival once a year, and I'm happy for them. I myself wouldn't have a festival for this thing. I mean, what, you're going to open your doors and invite him in? He's not there to make friends. I'm sorry.
Right.
Did you ever think about going to it just to meet somebody who may have had the same experience?
No. I believe that he was a kid when he saw it. And from all the information I gathered about him, he saw it maybe a year or two, either before I did or after I did.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not even interested in going to any festival or.
Yeah.
Now I would have been interested in talking to the kid, but unfortunately he has passed away.
Right.
Well, we're going to keep looking for other people and talking to them who've had the same one and maybe connect with you and try to figure this out as we go here.
Yeah.
Right. Now, apparently, the one in South Carolina had actually got a hold of some cars and had, taken his fingernails and opened the car up like a can opener.
Okay.
Wow.
That's some of the information I got but I didn't. I did see his nails. I mean, I wouldn't call them nails. I would call them talons.
Okay.
But yeah, it was all from the back. I saw just, and I didn't go out. I didn't want to go out.
You saw him from the back, right, as he was walking away.
Right.
But you noticed he had talons, and did he have hands or?
Yeah, he did
claws?
have hands.
Okay.
He had palms, I think, but he did have the talons, and he had feet.
What kind
but
of
his feet, I couldn't tell anything about. I want to say he had like a heel of the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But there again, I didn't see, nor did I go looking for footprint prints the next day.
But you said he was, other than his tail, he was built kind of like a man, like 7 foot tall, 250 pounds, a stout person for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely bipedal. The only difference was he had that dang tail.
Was that gray too? Was it all gray?
Yeah.
Were there any scales? Was he scaly?
He appeared to be when he went under the light. Yes, he did appear to be very scaly.
Okay. Did you ever go out and look? I know you didn't want to go out at that point, but at any time later, did you ever go and look for any kind of footprints or anything?
No. Which is, I dread. I mean, I wish I had it now,
mm-hmm.
but at that time I had 2 children, and after that we even went inside before it started to get dark. I mean, we were in the house. We did not stick outside.
I don't blame you. 25 feet away is pretty darn close. Close enough.
Yeah, and that spot or that street light was very bright. I mean, he walked right in, almost as if he wanted me to sing.
I was just going to say, this almost sounds like this was intentional.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like he jumped out of a portal somewhere. He was like, wait, she's going to look out the window right now. Boom. He jumped and walked and left that with you.
And then he was gone. Then he was gone.
And you didn't tell anybody about this for a while, or?
No. Last spring, I talked to somebody who interviewed me, and then I talked to my roommate, and this is the 3rd time.
Okay.
Yeah, the 3rd time I've talked about it.
It's got to be hard. How do you tell somebody that and they believe you?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I was doing,
but now I'm just at the point. I'm 57 years old. At the time, I was 23. And I had 2 young daughters that I wanted to protect them. Yeah, I didn't want anybody in town saying that I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know what I saw. I know they're out there. And, whether people believe my story or not, it's out there.
Kelli, that's a great story. Do you think that, do you believe in Bigfoot?
I do.
Yeah. I would assume you would after you saw what you saw.
Oh, yeah, after seeing that.
I told you we'd try to dig into this a little bit, and I came up with a couple things. I don't know if this would matter or not, but when you said portal, you kind of struck that with me too. This thing's either been around and been hidden in caves or some kind of area where man never goes, and it's grown and there's a species of them. Maybe, I don't know. God, I hope not. The Carolinas would be a good area for a creature like that to survive for sure.
For sure.
We don't know what's in this world anymore. We just don't. So it's a possibility that thing's just a natural flesh and blood creature that's just been around or developed from something. Or it could be a government experiment gone wrong. I've always thought about that in the back of my mind. Or you have the spiritual. And I believe that I probably lean toward that more than anything. I tend to believe that Bigfoot and creatures like this that people are seeing could be a spiritual kind of thing, or coming from a spiritual world into a form of whatever via a portal, and that's the stuff that's beyond us and we don't know, and we're starting to try to have to understand and accept it because people are seeing more and more things these days, and
right. And the series because I watched it, the series that was on at that time was called B, as in Valerie, and it was the program about lizard men coming to the world and attack and trying to eat us. And I saw except on the television program, they wore clothes. But this thing he didn't have any.
And didn't have a tail on the television show either.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
anyway. I remember that. I do remember that show. That was.
I love that show.
I would love to be able to talk to somebody that has seen him, but I would not push anybody. I would not wish that on anybody.
I understand.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I mean, it's one thing to see a Bigfoot because people talk about those things. It's one thing to see a Dogman because people are talking about those things. Dogman's becoming the new Bigfoot. But for Kelli or anybody to see a lizard creature walking like that, like boom, I can't imagine. And Kelli, I got to ask you, is there times where you just don't think about it and you don't have to worry about it, or does it just keep reoccurring in your mind? Has it been haunting you for obviously a long time?
Well, yeah, I try to forget him. And then there are times that, I go onto that night and I think, what could I have seen? Where did he come from? I don't think he was meant for our good.
No.
And that's just something I whether I drew that thought that night or if it's just something that I've come to through the years. But then reading about him being up in South Carolina and how he took his claws and opened up like a car on the side of it, like a can opener, that's not a very friendly creature.
No,
I wouldn't think so.
No. He's not going to come up and let you pet him or nothing like that either, for sure.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, it could be an alien. Do aliens come down as forms of those? Maybe it is the VE. That show. I don't know, Kelli. Yeah. I don't know.
There's all kinds of theories about these things, but yeah,
we don't.
I want to get to the bottom of this too.
We don't know what walks the earth anymore, honestly. What do you think he was doing? You think he was looking for food?
What he was doing, I have no idea, but he did walk like he had a purpose, like he was there for a reason.
That sounds like he had a definite destination he was heading to.
Yeah.
Do you have, what was around the area? You said there was not too much swamp. Was there any woodland where he could have been hiding out at? You think he was just passing through?
Well, okay. We had, on my house, across the street, there were houses. But behind those houses was a sawmill.
Okay.
So there was very woodsy then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking Go ahead.
I've often wondered if he didn't come down on a UFO or come out of a portal.
That's entirely possible too. Those are two really good theories that are out there.
Right now. Is. And Kelli, are you in that area now still, or are you elsewhere?
No.
Okay.
No, I live quite. I did one night coming to this place. I did stop and spent a couple of nights actually in Honey Grove. My kids they're grown. And I sat across the street from the house I lived in when my kids were small.
Where you saw the creature?
Yes.
Okay.
And I sat there for a night. And then I stayed inside the town for 2 or 3 nights. And then I was on my, I don't know if I wanted to see him again for proof, because at this time I had a camera on my phone. Back then, all you had was little bitty Kodaks,
Right.
and that one I've taken a picture, not by no means. So, but no.
The reason I asked you is because I know this is tough for you, and what I was about to say was I'm noticing something on the map here, and one thing I notice about a lot of Bigfoot sightings or weird creature sightings, and on our last episode we recorded, it was the same kind of thing. It was an actual encounter in Indiana, which is very uncommon. And what I do is I go on the map and look. There is a thing called Caddo National Grassland just north of Honey Grove. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a nature preserve, and
Really?
and it's a grassland nature preserve, and it's like, I'm wondering if he wasn't residing in that area at least for some amount of time.
Right.
It'd be a perfect place for a creature like that. It's a jaunt north. I mean, he's got enough. I don't know. It's probably an hour north of where you're at or more, but
If he was moving that fast.
Do you see that are you looking at a map at all, Brian, of Honey Grove? If you do, you'll see that Caddo. Is it Cato or Caddo? I don't know. But that's interesting to me when I hear about sightings that are kind of in areas that not the Pacific Northwest. But there's actually, there's a couple spots, and there's water in there too, Kelly. So it's a possibility that's where he was heading or coming to and from, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Right.
Now, does that tell us what he was? No. Does it tell us it was supernatural? No. But
it doesn't even tell how he got over those gates or those fences.
yeah, I mean, maybe
Mine definitely would have had damage if he had hopped over my fence. Hers would have had damage if he had hopped over her fence.
right.
There was no damage.
There's so many theories to this when you talk about this kind of creature, because I mean, Bigfoot people can believe or not believe, but the ones that believe can say he's just a flesh and blood creature. He's been around since the dawn of time, like we have, or he's the missing link, blah blah blah. But when you talk about this situation, it really brings things into perspective about portals, alien, paranormal, dimensional, government experiment. I would bet it'd be one of those than just a flat out. He's a flesh and blood creature, and he's been living on the earth for a long time, and we just didn't know it. I don't believe that, because there have been more sightings, for sure. I would think.
Right.
Or they're really great at hiding. But yeah, the fence thing's really strange.
We know that. National Grassland. I know that.
Yeah. So that's interesting to me. Maybe sometime, Brian, maybe you and I can take a hike through there and see what we see. Make it a trip.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, Kelly,
Well, I'll tell you, if you do, just be careful.
yeah, we'd definitely be armed for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And take a sat phone with you.
Yeah, take a what phone?
A SAT.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure, definitely, yeah.
Satellite.
We'd be loaded with all kinds of cameras and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we do go on excursions, or we're going to be going on excursions for sure. But I'd definitely like to be interested in I'm going to research some of that national grassland too, to see what's been going on around there. Maybe some you just never know, some weirdness.
If there's some more sightings around there.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to see it again just for proof. Would you want to now for proof?
I would love to be able to find something out about him. How I would react if I was to see him again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe from a far, far distance,
right?
Overlooking down, and I don't know. Yeah,
just to try and figure out.
I can't imagine what the emotions that you were having when you saw it. I mean, how do you compress
I was in shock. Now I did watch Monster Men or something like that. History had it, and they had a show where they were looking for a lizard man.
Okay, where were they at?
And I can't remember. This has been a few years back. But, of course, they didn't find one. So somebody's reporting them somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, you never find them when you're looking for them. It's always when
TV shows rarely do.
No, well, they haven't yet, have they?
Mm-hmm.
But they're making so much noise. Who's going to stick around and show, they can hear those guys a mile away with all those cameras.
Right,
and
exactly.
Missiles
yeah.
and all that.
I'd hide too.
So Kelli, that night, I mean, did you fall asleep? Did you stay up all night?
No, I didn't fall asleep. I stayed awake. I was in shock. My whole body. I mean, I was just in shock. And after I left him, my husband at that time, and I got married to my other husband, he was with me watching that show about monster men. Where they were going to go find the lizard and all this. I didn't even tell him. He did not know that I was watching to see if they would actually be able to film this creature.
And he gets it. He was obviously interested in that kind of stuff. He was watching it, and you never told him that.
No, I never did.
He would probably have been excited.
Probably.
He'd probably said, "Take me there right now." Or was he in that? Was that the same house that? Maybe he was in. Was he in the same place where you saw it? Was that the same house when you were watching that show?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we were in a little bitty town in Oklahoma.
I gotcha.
Well, you know how the kid passed away. I kind of found that odd too. A car ran in front of his house, ran into his house, and the debris killed him.
How old was he?
Really?
Yeah.
How old was he?
So,
do you know?
He was younger than me, but I can't remember how, because once I found out that he had passed, there, you know, I didn't have anybody I could touch down with. Speaking, you know.
I'm willing to bet there's somebody else out there that's seen this thing that's not speaking up.
Oh, yeah.
Probably feels the same way you do. Yeah, we're going to keep looking for sure. Did anything happen weird after you saw it in your life? Or did you, was there any passing of anyone close to you or anything like that?
No, that's the only thing, but even that, switched my perspective on reality because, you see something like that and you're like, this is my world. This is, this, and then you think, well, was I insane? But I know I saw him. He is out there. I just don't know where, and I don't care where. But I would love to know.
As long as he's not by you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
It's tough. I mean, look how long people have been trying to prove Bigfoot. So, and there's been thousands of sightings of that. So it takes some time, and but you never know. Somebody might hit one with their car one day and take the body to science, and they might say, well, okay, I don't know. But I think there's something else going on for sure. It sounds
tough. I know there is. I just don't know if it's portals, aliens. There's something.
Definitely. It'd be easier to accept if it was just one creature, but seeing several different creatures like Dog Man and Lizard Man and Bigfoot and whatnot, that's what makes it really interesting for sure.
Right.
And, I read a lot of the Skinwalker Ranch. They have so much going on out there. I mean, they've had cattle mutilations. They've seen supposedly that I can't pronounce that dog, but several things have happened on the Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, absolutely. That's a whole different entity in its own. I don't know what to think about that. If you've ever watched a documentary on that, it's like, I don't think I even finished watching it because I was like, I can't comprehend this. Let me just stick with Bigfoot.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Well, Kelli, again, we appreciate you coming on and sharing your story so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Courage.
You're welcome. And we're going to keep digging into stuff, and we'll stay in touch. And
yeah, we are. For whatever we find out, you'll know.
Yep, we're going to definitely look for more of these encounters and try to get them on here and get you guys connected for sure. So again, we appreciate it, Kelli.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you. You have a good night.
All right, Kelli.
You too.
I'll be in touch. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, that's some crazy stuff, huh, Brian?
Yeah. Wow.
The Lizard Man. She was great for coming on and talking to us.
Digging. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to talk about something like that.
Especially
with the lizard people, because not a lot of people are talking about those. I mean,
no.
The theories are out there. people have said something about it, but it's not like Bigfoot or Dogman or
Right.
even Chupacabra at this point.
This might be my new go-to, my new Bigfoot. I don't know. I'm going to keep eyes and ears and out.
I'm
stories
definitely
for this
look
thing.
into this some more. Yeah,
I'm going to
this
look
sounds
online
like,
for the Lizard Man groups and all that stuff. And guys who are listening, if you know anything, anybody heard anything about this Lizard Man, get a hold of us and let us know.
Yes, for sure.
Info at cryptidcreatures.co, not com. Twitter, what's the Twitter handle, Brian?
At Cryptid Creature 1. No E on the end of creature, just Cryptid Creature 1.
Right on. And we have Facebook and Instagram, Cryptid Creatures.
Yep.
We have our Facebook groups. Come and join that and be part of it. And if you guys have had an encounter.
And our YouTube channel.
Yep, YouTube.
At Cryptid Creatures.
Where all can we be listened to? Can you name all those places?
Can I name them all? No. Every podcast platform that is big right now, we are on.
Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora.
Right. Yep.
We are on YouTube.
Pandora now. Yep.
What else?
Alexa. You can get us on Alexa.
Oh, yeah. Alexa, play Cryptid Creatures.
If you like the smart speakers.
I might just turn my Alexa back on just for that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice just to say, Alexa, play Cryptid Creatures podcast. And there it is. Bang.
Get yourself a listen. Anyway, Brian, man, we'll wrap this up. Guys, thanks for listening so much.
Show.
We appreciate it. We're going to keep bringing you good stuff.
We appreciate all of you for listening and for corresponding with us on Facebook and on a couple of them on YouTube. I didn't tell you about those.
No, you did not. Yep. Holding back on me. Okay. Well, I can't wait to hear about this.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Take care, Brian. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, buddy.
Good episode, man.
Yep.
See ya.